From the insane blame game off the field to the pressure cooker shots on the field, these are the 10 most intense golf moments you need to see. Number 10, the iconic shot. This moment from the 2005 Masters Cup is undoubtedly the most iconic moment in golf. It was the final round of the competition, and Chris DiMarco had a one-shot lead over Tiger Woods. The fans sat on the edge of their seats as Woods walked to hit his 16th hole. It was now or never, a win or a loss. The shot that could get him the green jacket. He needed a perfect chip. Woods swung the golf club as the ball rolled towards the cup and stopped at the edge of the hole. The audience drew their breath, waiting and praying. Then, by some miracle, the ball trickled slowly and fell down the hole. It was a majestic and elegant win, quite unlike the next one on the list. Number 9, the long shot. The 1999 Ryder Cup was at a tough stage, with the United States trailing behind Europe with a 10-6. But the singles matches turned the entire leaderboard upside down. Now, the US was only 1 point from getting their hands on the cup. All the pressure was on Justin Leonard, going up against Jose Maria Olazabal, who was on the 17th hole. Leonard took the challenge and hit a 45-foot birdie putt. It seemed like the longest shot as everyone anxiously followed the ball with their eyes. The ball dropped into the hole. But here's where things got a bit intense. The whole crowd jumped into the field to celebrate the shot, although Olazabal was still waiting to make his swing. The celebration was a bit immature, and you could spot the frustration on Olazabal's face. The media wasn't very happy either, criticizing Leonard and his team's outburst on the field. Although this moment was weirdly tense, the next moment was pleasantly dramatic. Number 8, Duel in the Sun. The 1977 Open Championship saw a legendary duel between two golfers. The pressure was so intense that the rivalry even got its own nickname, the Duel in the Sun. Tom Watson and Jack Nicklaus were tied in the final round. They kept it going, trying to one-up the other, shot after shot. The drama bubbled up on the 16th hole when Watson hit a birdie to take a one-shot lead. On the 17th hole, he went up to a two-shot lead. But the next hole brought more attention to the screen when Jack Nicklaus hit a 35-foot birdie putt. Now, the only thing standing in the way of Watson and his legendary win was a short birdie that he hit with style. In the epic match, Watson took the lead by 269 to 268, turning it into one of the most intense battles in golf. The next moment is one where even the crowd joined in on the drama. Number 7, the crowd's favorite. This was the 2016 Ryder Cup, when Rory McIlroy and Patrick Reed got into an intense game on the field. It didn't help that the crowd was in the same competitive mood, hyping the golfers up. Things got really insane when the time came for the 8th hole. McIlroy hit a 50-foot birdie putt and charged at the crowd. To give a snarky response, Reed was ready. He hit a 20-foot birdie putt and immediately threw his finger up in the game. The crowd went into a state of frenzy with each shot, but there was only one winner to be crowned that day, and in this case, it was Reed. At least both players were on the same page. However, I can't say the same for the next heated moment in golf. Number 6, the unique style. The event was the 2014 US Women's Open, and the battle was between Stacey Lewis and Michelle Wie. The tension of the game bubbled up long before the match even started. You see, Wie had a signature style called the tabletop. She would bend over with her back straight to hit the ball with the utmost concentration. Whatever it was, it worked out for Wie, but that didn't mean she didn't have any haters. Apparently, Lewis was one of them. She decided to make the match even more intense when she commented on Wie's signature style, calling it disrespectful to other players. Wie chose not to reply with her words. Instead, she took her frustration to the field and won the final round by 2 strokes over Lewis. It was Wie's first major win, and Lewis could only look on helplessly, probably drowning in a pool of regret. The next moment was a mess created by the golfer himself. But before we move on, if you're liking it up till now, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Number 5, the Almost Meltdown. During the 2017 Open, a golfer called Jordan Spieth dug himself into a big hole. He had entered the final round with a 3-shot lead, but then he ended up in a tie at the 13th hole. The panic was already creeping up on him when another disastrous moment entered the chat. The man swung the ball so hard that it landed all the way on a rocky dune, close to an equipment truck. The ball was practically unplayable, and Spieth thought so too. But after debating for the next 20 minutes, Spieth turned the most unusual shot into one of the most epic ones. Talk about a historic turnout. But this golfer had a reason to be upset, unlike the next one. Number 4. The unnecessary drama. During the 2013 Players' Championship, the tension between Sergio Garcia and Tiger Woods turned from friendly rivalry to downright nasty. On the second hole, Garcia was ready to hit the ball when Tiger pulled a club from his bag. The crowd went berserk seeing their hero ready for action. But it wasn't the same way by Garcia. Apparently, the crowd's reaction was so sudden that it made Garcia fumble and strike the ball off the target. Later, he blamed it on Woods in an interview and called him out for not being conscious on the field. The controversy sparked an online debate, but most fans ended up supporting Woods. But this next moment didn't have the fans divided into two. Number 3. The recovery shot. The Masters 2012 landed the two professionals against each other, Bubba Watson and Louis Oosthuizen. The two had tied at 10 after 72 holes. To announce the winner, they had to put the two golfers against each other one more time into a deadly playoff. On the first hole, both made par. Now, standing on the 10th hole, things got even more intense. Watson had driven off his ball to an area with no clear target. The small pack of trees was blocking his view, forcing him to a potential loss. But he refused to give up. He struck the ball and landed a 40-yard hook around the trees that drew him closer to the win. That epic shot ultimately gave him the confidence to bag the title. But this next controversy is something no one could have predicted. Number 2. The heated debate. At the 2015 Cadillac Match Play Championship, drama boiled over like a pressure cooker waiting to explode. The two players, Keegan Bradley and Miguel Angel Jimenez, were going against each other, and Jimenez had the lead. On the 17th hole, Bradley hit a shot near a cart path and was thinking how to move on from there. Jimenez decided to butt into the conversation, uninvited, and told him in a very dominating manner what to do next. That gesture didn't land as well with Bradley as Jimenez had hoped, turning the discussion into a heated exchange. One gave the other a death stare, and the duo blurted out words they didn't mean. All in all, it was an intense boxing match without the punches. Jimenez refused to give in and stood there unbothered, although it was his mistake. Bradley went on to lose the match, and the tension on the field slipped into the post-round interviews too. It wasn't a good color on either of them. The match may have gone down in an expected route, but the next win was a pretty surprising one. Number 1. The Unconventional Hero. Phil Mickelson was 50 years old when he played in the PGA Championship. The odds and the critics were against him. It didn't help that the weather was pretty brutal that day, only making the game tougher for the golfers. Mickelson had a 2-shot lead when he walked up to the 18th and final hole, so he only needed to avoid messing up on his next shot. But that's when things turned a bit chaotic. The crowd entered the field and made it more tense. Yet, Mickelson couldn't have handled it more calmly, striking a 2-putted for par and snatching the win from the youngsters. If you enjoyed these intense moments, you'll love this video too. Click here